Nature is the door to happiness.
The things that you see, the experiences that you have while kayaking stand out.
Not only is it people's own personal kind of spiritual experiences that we try to create in the wilderness for people, it's also like this community building thing, right?
There are lots of keys you can use to unlock it.
And like we all got to be Goonies for a little bit if we grew up in the 80s. That was an absolute dream to go find, a pirate's chest full of gold.
Now, as you can tell, we're pretty passionate about catfishing. We could keep talking all night long, really.
Let us help you find your key. Welcome to the 12 Hike Podcast.
Open my eyes, and here's this Milky Way, and I'm looking at this, and like it was an instant reaction. Like I went to nudge somebody next to me because I wanted them to see the same thing I was seeing. I wanted to share that with somebody, and it was.
In the mid-1970s, Finland was considered an unhealthy country. Finland held the world record for heart disease. Finnish culture embraced nearly every risk factor for heart disease there was. A sedentary life, everybody smoked, and everybody ate a lot of fat meat. Finnish men used to say vegetables were for rabbits, not real men. So people simply did not eat vegetables. The staples were butter on bread, full-fat milk, and fatty meat. Over the next 30 years, Finland transformed itself. The number of men dying from cardiovascular heart disease dropped by at least 65%, with deaths from lung cancer being cut by a similar margin. Physical activity has risen, as well as overall life expectancy for men and women. Having come so far, Finland now finds itself in the spotlight from health officials across the world. So, how did Finland find the equation to change a culture? The answer was getting entire communities behind the idea of health. They used carrots instead of sticks. Health officials used positive incentives and competitions to inspire communities to be healthy. The sense of pride in each community's accomplishments versus other communities slowly solidified the positive effects being healthy had on them. This long-term change is being passed down to younger generations and being fostered as the best way to live. Officials realized that people did not need education. Everyone knew how to be healthy, but simply didn't care. They needed motivation and support. They needed someone pushing them from their large behinds and encouraging them every step of the way. Today, we are talking to a group that is attempting to do the same thing in a sleepy river town along the Ohio River. Portsmouth Connex is attempting to turn Portsmouth, Ohio into a vibrant and healthy town and influence others to join in on the fight. This is Zach Jenkins, and thank you for listening to the 12 Hike Podcast.
If I got to sneeze or something like that,
I will make it so loud.
Or if someone busts through my bedroom door, I should lock it.
Well, I'm down in my basement, and my kids are upstairs. I've got my fingers crossed that they're going to stay up there.
I have told my husband, both my kids, I need all the internet at 9 p.m., okay? I will let you know when I'm done.
That's such a weird thing, all the internet, because we're running a streaming device, 2 tablets, my wife's got her computer going, phones, and we're still fine.
Oh, not where I live.
I'd say not. Okay, so we are finally getting around to doing this after weeks of planning and replanning, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Technical difficulty.
Okay, so if you got... Yeah, listen, everybody's been having technical difficulties. Eventually, I'm going to have to upgrade and get a digital recorder, but for now, this is what I got. So, if you don't mind, maybe introducing yourselves a little bit.
Well, my name's Nathan Mullins. I'm 42 years old. I live in a little town in southern Ohio called New Boston, right on the Ohio River. Kind of a general adventurer. I like just about anything that's human-powered locomotion, whether it's running, riding, paddling, walking, just about it. I'm fascinated with it. That's me in a nutshell.
And Heather?
So my name's Heather Adkins. Well, I'm a wife, and I've got 2 kids, a 19-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son. I actually live in Greenup County, Kentucky, right across the river from Portsmouth. I'm a runner. I bike, I hike, I kayak, and do a little bit of everything outdoors. I recently became a yoga instructor, so I'm trying to work that in. But I started with Connex got involved with Connex in like 2014, and then started serving on the board 2018 and 19, and presently I am serving as vice president.
Hey, there you go. Nathan, how long have you been on the board, or are you on the board?
Yes, I think I've been a board member since beginning of 2019. So coming up on 2 years, my first term anyway.
And what made you guys decide to get involved with Portsmouth Connex?
Well, with me, I've been a cyclist for a while, and in this town, it's not real popular. There's not very many cyclists, so I kept seeing a group of riders ride by on certain weeknights, and I said, man, I got to get a part of that. So I found out who it was, and just kind of like dove in from there.
Heather, how about you?
I actually had to go back and look at some pictures on our Facebook page because I was trying to remember how exactly I got involved in Connex. But I think I was going to do the triathlon there at the Life Center, and that's how I met some other cyclists, and then it kind of evolved from there. They had done had set up out down at the St. Mary's Festival there in Portsmouth one year, and I actually went down and volunteered with that. I wasn't obviously a board member or anything, but I was kind of like Nathan. I was just kind of curious and seeing what this group was out there doing, and so one event led to another, and then bike rides, and here we are today, busy as ever.
Busy as ever is right. You guys are crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
It's a fun busy, though. We don't even realize how busy we are.
Well, yeah, because everything you guys do is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when Connex actually started and who came up with the idea?
I don't remember the original, everyone that was part of it originally. I think Wendy Wall, who was actually still involved with Connex, and Barb Bradbury are both still with us. They were one of the members with the founding idea, but in 2005, it was originally called the Shawnee Recreation Trail Committee, and it was a nonprofit organization. And their original idea was to develop bicycle trails in the Scioto County, in the Portsmouth area, primarily from Portsmouth down to Earl Thomas Conley Park. So there was right-of-way issues and other things, so that was unsuccessful. So in 2013, they had a reorg and renamed it what it is today, Portsmouth Connex.
Okay. It's a shame that the right-of-way issues happened, because I think those bike paths would have been really beneficial to the area.
Oh yeah, I mean the idea still hasn't went away. It's, it'll still be in the works. There's a lot that goes into that for sure.
Yeah, and really, I mean, even though that hasn't went through all the way yet, I mean the presence of a large bicycling group there has it started to have any kind of effect on kind of changing people's perspectives on bicycling?
I think so.
I believe it has. Yeah, we've kind of been the attitude, I guess, around here is, why would you want to put out the effort to do that when you could ride something with a motor or something? But people see us out, they see our photos, and they see us having fun, and we get new members almost every week showing up to our rides, and it's definitely addicting, and we can kind of see a positive impact in town now because of it. People know who we are and ask us about it all the time. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've noticed living out here in Colorado. Their bicycling culture is deep. Every single road, even like some of your major roadways, have dedicated bicycling lanes, and there are always people bicycling.
Yeah, we kind of had a local celebrity named Stormy who was from Colorado, and he would tell us about that about every single ride we was on, whether we wanted to hear about it or not. And but he is one of the most avid and enthusiastic riders I've ever met, and it's just contagious being around him. And he just moved away. He just moved to Virginia this past spring, and we all at Connex we really miss him. But if you listen to this, Stormy, we miss you, bud.
I hope he does listen to it. Has any progress been made in getting some of those dedicated bike paths and stuff put in? I know, Heather, I think last time you mentioned they were going to be trying to put in some kind of, I don't want to say a speed bump, but like a speed deterrent to try to slow people down in town. Is that right?
Yes. What is it? I cannot remember exactly what those. Yeah, it's not a speed bump, but it's Nathan. Do you remember what they're called? They're actually wider and
traffic calming devices. I believe that's what they're
calming.
called.
Yes, that's the word.
Yes.
And then there was actually some talk about putting an actual bike lane through New Boston. We had someone come and speak at our annual meeting back in January, and I believe it was around like Winterfest. They were actually set up at different areas and kind of had some proposed bike routes and bike lanes, and they were going around just basically getting public opinion on it. So they had a lot of data to collect first.
I guess it's kind of worth mentioning here. It seems like the whole town of Portsmouth is trying to change its culture. They're trying to improve, clean up, and get people to understand how nice of a town it is.
Oh, definitely. It's well, they had the whole Plant Portsmouth, and then you've got Main Street. They're constantly, they take care of the Esplanade in downtown Chillicothe and down there in Boneyfiddle, but they're all the time beautifying it and just making it look good.
Nathan, I think you were getting ready to say something.
I was just going to touch on what Heather was saying. It seems like there's a kind of a new, I don't know, a new set of motivated individuals in town now that are really interested in, kind of putting their money where their mouth is and then their efforts. And it's definitely contagious. They set a couple, I guess, records this year, having different activities downtown, and the ice rink thing for Winterfest was a big hit, and Connex volunteered at it this winter, and just people showing up every single night just for something to do in the middle of wintertime. And it's just, it's really kind of nice. Even though that downtown is pretty old and weathered, they're still trying to make it come back, but it's a good thing.
Yeah, didn't Hallmark